Okay, Fast. I've been having trouble with this thing flooding, and I wanted y'all to show you. I pulled everything back out. I got the wire running from the main unit over to the fender. I got ECU sitting on the fender. The harness is all sitting there. And then the O2 bung goes up under the car. The only other two wires that we're missing, you have the one that goes to ignition on wire. I got across the hood, or as you were, the point goes on and goes inside the driver's side kick panel where the MSD box is. This here is going to be your ignition on key, and I'm going to connect it straight to the battery, which is also where the hot and ground wire is hooked to. The hot and ground wire runs straight in through the car, and I got it just laid in here right now and goes back to the battery. So the only thing is everything currently right now is outside the car, so there should be no interference whatsoever. The main unit sitting up here, again, the wire goes over to the ECU. I got it just sit right up here right now because I had it all mounted inside that fender well right there. But y'all just talking about, well, maybe something's electrically interfering. So now everything's laid out here on the fender. All the other wires, again, is going outside the car to the trunk, to the battery, and the other one's going across the car to the MSD box. So I'm going to crank it up. It's been cranking up, but as soon as it cranks up, it just floods out. So I'm going to come back on in just a second. Okay, I'm inside the car. The only wires coming in the car, again, like I said, is to the handheld. Goes down through the dash vent, goes right up under there, and goes right out to where the ECU was, which was laying on the fender. And then the hot wire and ground coming through the car to the trunk. And then the yellow wire I got down here connected to my MSD box inside the kick panel. So we're going to crank it up and see how we do. Alright, key on. Wait a minute, let me hook up the hot wire to the ECU. Okay, I got the hot wire hooked to the battery, or instead of ignition on, I got hooked straight to the battery. So as you can tell, the unit's on now. It just primed itself. So now we're going to start the car. Key on. Cranked up, staying running. You can see it has a 27 factor correction right now for the O2 as it's warming up. So we'll So as it's warming up, I'm going to go ahead and jump out of the car real quick, make sure none of the wires are next to the headers, and I'll come right back on. just changed the spark plugs because it was flooding so much the other day. As you can see, 0, 0, 0 RM counts. Again, once it warms up, that should come back across. As you can see, it's starting to come across now, and that should turn green. Once it warms up, if it's not green, I will correct that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let it warm up some more. As you can see, it's starting. The coolant temperature is 127. And the O2 correction is starting to come down now as it's starting to warm up. Once it gets warmed up, I'll try to give it a little bit of gas, and that's when it's been flooding. As you can see, it hit 143 coolant temperature. Now it's went into the learning state. Now it's learning, and O2 correction just came down to 0.1. I'm going to attempt to give it a little bit of gas. O2 corrections at -21. But my other air fuel in the car is showing a 10. Okay, that's starting to turn green. I'll go ahead and correct that now. Okay, as you see, I corrected it. So I'm gonna go back to the main screen. To give it some gas. Starting to flood out. That's my O2 at a 10 on my O2. Your O2 showing a 12.7 or a 12.3. Mine's a 10.5. flooding. Correction, it's still at 11 something. That one down there is at 11.5, 11.4. That one's at 11.5 now. Still flooding. Zero count still. And it's still trying to flood on me. Way off now. I'm going to try to correct it. Oh, I've corrected that now. And it's still flooding. Give a little gas. And it won't take it. So I'm shutting it off. So as you can see, I got a flooding issue somewhere with this thing. It starts out fairly good, and as it starts warming up, it just goes berserk. It can't take no gas, and it's flooding. I need help. Okay, as you can see, it's zero correction. I'm gonna rev it up. It'll correct itself. Once it gets down to O2 correction around 0, I'll do it again. It got really fat, then you heard the car surge. It'll correct itself. Once it settles down, I'll try to give it just a little. It almost quit again. There it goes, there it goes. Give it just a little bit of gas. Barely touching the gas. fat. I mean, I didn't even hurry touch the gas enough to give it any RPM. If I can rev it. Okay, 0 on the correction. Oh, almost died on me. Surging. All right, I'm going to try to give it just a little bit of gas. As much as I'm going to record, I need some help.